Good morning, good afternoon, and or good evening, wherever you're receiving this audio. Welcome back to another episode of the Busted Coverage Podcast, here on YouTube as well as on Spotify. I am your host, Nicholas Persampieri, aka the Intro Guy. I'm joined here, and always and forever, by my partner in crime, Matt Baywood. Cam Griffin is off tonight. He is currently in the woods. With no service, so there's no way that we can contact him. But don't worry, guys, he will be back next week. He's also moderating next week, so you guys get to hear him plenty. But for this week, you get me and Matt, so deal with it. But before we get started, we want to thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe and follow to the channels, and leave comments. Let us know what you guys want to hear, anything that you guys might pick up that we don't. We'd love to have that banter, and we'll shout you out on the show. So don't be afraid to ask us something. There are no bad questions, unless they're asked by me, Which brings me to my next point. I'm moderating this week, even though it's just me and Matt. So we're really just having a conversation. I'm pulling up the topics here. Sorry for the pause. All right, so got a couple interesting things that happened this week in the sports world. The big thing that caught our eye, which will be our first topic, is an agreement that ESPN and the NFL have. ESPN has acquired NFL Network as well as NFL Red Zone as part of their enhanced broadcasting monopolization. Maybe not, we don't know, but they own a bunch of stuff. And in exchange, as part of the deal, the NFL now owns, I believe, 10% of ESPN. So we're going to go ahead and get into a deep dive in that. Also, this weekend saw some history made as Jen Powell became the first female umpire in Major League history, working the bases as well as working behind the plate. I believe she was behind the plate today for the Braves-Marlins game. And then we're going to try to get into a little bit more of a deeper conversation about the growth of women's sports and maybe touch on a new league that you may or may not have heard of. We'll get into that. Also, we're going to talk about a bit of a serious and personal thing that goes around in sports. It's when, a team or a player may lose a game or a match, and the aftermath, the fan backlash could turn a bit too far. Death threats, slander, etc. So we're going to get into a little deep dive into that. Mr. Baywood, are you ready?
I am.
All right. Not to be mistaken with Cam Baywood or Matt Griffin. It is Matt Baywood today. I'm going to start with you since you're the only one here. Love you, Cam. So, as I mentioned, ESPN has acquired NFL Network as well as Red Zone for the National Football League. Also part of the deal, the NFL now owns 10% of ESPN. So, there's basically two main questions that I got, and you can take this however you want. First main question is, do you believe there is a monopoly or a monopolization effort by some major sports broadcasters such as ESPN? And if so or if not, yes or no or why? And how do you believe that this deal will affect future streaming options for sports in general?
Okay.
So we'll start with that.
Okay, do I think that there's a monopoly? Well, unfortunately, there's a monopoly in just about everything. So whether it's going to the grocery store or even clothing outlets, it's no longer the little guy being able to get a piece of the cake. So ESPN, obviously being the biggest name out there in sports, NFL wasn't going to sell it or give away one of its prized pieces to something that's not going to get viewership.
Right.
So as a business move for the NFL, it was smart. However, FS1 is known as basically the second big Fox Sports, that is like the second big one to ESPN, and that's still like a lost stepchild towards ESPN. They had a good run when Undisputed was popular, and that was just about it. I don't think I tuned into anything else on that network. Maybe first things first, but even then it was just kind of like Nick Wright's squeaky voice kind of got to me at some point.
He does have great hair now, though. That mane is impressive.
So that being said, it is monopolized. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I also don't have a solution at the moment, so I'm not going to share down that route.
Sure.
However, what concerned me, which it's great that you added the second point of that question, for the streaming service portion, I was anticipating that this was going to be part of the ESPN Plus deal, but it's not. It's a separate $12 charge per month.
Yeah.
So that's sort of where my concern is, because if you get the ESPN Plus package, you get some NBA games, you get some WNBA games, you get every NHL game, and then now you have to buy a separate service.
Mm-hmm. Like an add-on,
for the very few games that are going to be shown from the NFL Network, because there's not many. I know they show the London games on NFL Network.
Yes.
And they used to do Thursday on NFL Network, but now that is Amazon Prime. So
yep.
In terms of, is that $12.99 worth it? I doubt it. I would have just merged it with the ESPN Plus package, and if you had to raise it up by $1 or $2, but the Red Zone obviously is with that, so that's different. It's a mini version of like the Sunday Ticket, where any team that's within the 20-yard line or close to the 20-yard line starts being shown on the screen, and you get to watch it from then on. So that's cool, but again, this isn't anything to open your wallets and start swiping for, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, it's my turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know you mentioned Sunday Ticket.
Yep.
I believe that was bought by YouTube TV.
Correct. It was originally DirecTV.
Yeah, that was a big money acquisition.
Yep.
So I'm intrigued to see if this is something as competition to that, or if it's its own thing. I don't know how this affects the playoffs, right? Because Netflix was doing some Christmas stuff and a couple playoff games. Peacock was doing a couple of things. So it's funny that I guess ESPN felt we can't let this get away from us. Also, like Paramount Plus with CBS.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see where the presentation of the NFL goes.
Can we broaden this once you're done to like just a general streaming?
Sure. Yeah.
Conversation, but go ahead with your point. Sorry.
Yeah. So it's funny for those of you that maybe don't have an Amazon Prime account but don't want to watch Thursday Night Football. I hope Amazon Prime's not listening to this, but please subscribe if you are. They have a Twitch account called Prime Sports. It is the Amazon Prime Sports Twitch account, and they stream the Thursday Night Football games for free. So if you're looking to save a few bucks, hopefully they don't find this and sue me or sue us or something. But yeah.
It's funny you bring that up, because I found that out and canceled my Prime membership.
Yeah. So the Prime Video membership, maybe not the Prime. We like one day delivery, but but this again goes to the point of, okay, ESPN has its own platform for streaming. You get, UFC, this, that. It's already I'm not sure how much it is. I'm sure it's pretty expensive a month.
For what?
For like the ESPN Plus with everything included.
So I used to do the package back when it was like $15 a month. It was Hulu, Disney, and ESPN. Then they kept raising it. I think it ended up being like $30. So while you keep going off that.
Yeah. So if you're saying it's already $30 a month, and now you're gonna have to pay another $12 a month for NFL Network and Red Zone or whatever. And I don't think the deal takes effect until next season.
So the unlimited plan is $30 a month.
So it's already $30 a month.
And that bundles with Disney and Hulu.
Yeah, that's not cheap. I mean, I guess it's cheaper than regular cable, for sure. But still, like it's creating an inconvenience to someone that may not be able to throw $30 a month at ESPN Plus or something.
And believe it or not, there are still people that do not have smart TVs.
Correct.
Or Apple, like Roku or Apple TV, that connect to the TV, where you can kind of bridge the gap between an older TV and the smart TV, so that you can get those apps on your device at some point.
Right.
So it's just like...
Yeah, my parents still have cable.
Right.
They have Frontier.
Yeah. So the thing is when you have to buy a membership for Paramount Plus, then you have to buy an ESPN Plus, then you got to buy Amazon Prime. Well, now Nick has given the secret away.
I've given you guys the secret sauce, yeah.
And at one point, you still had to buy the NFL Network if you wanted to watch those games up until this point.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know if there's going to be NFL Network and ESPN Plus games, because ESPN, like you said, had Monday night. Is that transitioning to this new app?
I don't know.
We don't know.
Plus, ESPN is on cable television.
Yeah.
So it's like, why would someone pay when they can when they already have cable? So it's just, I found it very interesting. And I also found it very interesting that the NFL now owns 10% of ESPN.
Yeah.
So I don't know if this is them maybe just going full Disney mode, and maybe they're going to shy away from, Paramount, which owns CBS. I don't know. I mean, I've been watching football on CBS since I was in diapers, so I don't know where this is going. No one really knows. We'll see what happens. But I have a follow-up question for you, Matt.
Okay.
Because I don't know if anyone else knows. ESPN also has its own sports book, ESPN Bet, which they're headquartered in Connecticut, and the sports book is not even in Connecticut.
No.
Go figure. That might be. You might want to listen to that later in the show. I don't know. Sneak peek. Just kidding. Is there a conflict of interest here with a league owning a percentage of a network and a sports book, then having people wager on games that they're getting kickbacks for?
There can be, for sure. No brainer there. But I think there's a decent amount. There's got to be, because gambling is pretty federally monitored now.
Right.
So I would think that there's guidelines or some sort of SEC intervention or government intervention where they had to sign something that was like, listen, there's no discussions on manipulating spreads and doing or money lines or any sort of,
or like there's no fee to wager on, like
right.
Because DraftKings and FanDuel, all of them have NFL wagering. So if the NFL is receiving payment to say, okay, we're allowing you to wager and use our likeness.
Yeah.
But then if you're gonna say, oh, ESPN doesn't have to do that.
But to be safe,
it's
like ESPN should probably just remove all NFL. But I know ESPN is also partners with NHL in a way. It's not the same sort of, like the NHL has no ownership in ESPN,
right.
But they obviously cover all their games. Being a sports, and this is my opinion for the whole thing, is that I don't think ESPN should have a sports book at all, period. Because that we know of, a Foxwoods or a Mohegan Sun doesn't have skin in the game. That we know of.
Right.
ESPN covers sports all day, 24 hours a day. And
especially when the league has a percentage ownership stake in you.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I don't agree with that at all. I mean, I would love to use ESPN Bet, seeing as we're Connecticut residents and it's a Connecticut company, but again, later in the show maybe, I don't know. But yeah, I just found that very interesting. And then it kind of also, what's stopping Fox Sports from doing the same thing? What's stopping, I don't know what other channel, like NBA TV or any major company from just, oh, we have an online casino / sportsbook now. Regular, it's legal, whatever. We get licensed in whatever state.
It's like me.
Here you go.
It's like me dropping an IPO and buying all my stock to raise the price.
Right.
That is borderline illegal.
Hey, I don't know. I'm not the authorities.
Yeah.
It's not illegal to me. But yeah, so I found that extremely interesting.
We got to see how that ends up working. You know?
I don't think this is effect this year, because I'm pretty sure like NFL Network. I mean, my family has cable. We have the NFL Network channel.
Yeah.
As part of the whatever package.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming this will be next year. Actually, ESPN also made another deal. We'll talk about that later off air. But Yeah. So I don't know if this is now, down the next year. It's coming.
And while we are on this topic too, WWE and Peacock are breaking up too, right? Is that
That's what I was referring to.
Oh.
So starting next year,
Yeah.
WrestleMania will be streamed on ESPN Plus. Yep. And so I believe so will the Royal Rumble.
And I like Peacock,
Yeah, I heard Peacock's great.
and I'm pretty sure it was free.
It's certainly cheaper than ESPN Plus.
Yeah. I don't pay for Peacock, and I was able to watch like SummerSlam.
I don't know. Money talks, right?
Yeah.
Money talks. Bullshit walks.
It's like, oh wait, were they bringing back the? Is it just streaming through ESPN Plus, or are they bringing back the pay-per-view? Because I thought it was
I think it's just like their premium live events,
okay.
which would include WrestleMania.
Gotcha.
So like basically the big ones
Yeah.
are gonna be on ESPN Plus because they just had a deal with Netflix
Yeah, that's obviously
for Monday Night Raw. SmackDown, they had a big money deal with the USA Network. I think they're getting like $1 billion from that or whatever the hell. They got $5 billion from Netflix for a 5-year contract.
And then Fox lost that too because they used to have.
They used to have, yeah. Yep. So, and now Peacock, but Peacock owns the encyclopedia of all the past stuff. So maybe they just, I don't know.
And TNT is now with ESPN too, right? Or not TNT.
The Turner Group?
I just mean the Turner Group
Are they? I thought they were Warner Brothers Discovery.
I thought it was ESPN.
I mean, hell, ESPN owns everything. So
You're talking about Barkley and them?
Oh, no, the show. Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
oh.
Inside the NBA went to ESPN.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Yeah, they
Yes.
were TNT.
Yes.
So
Yep.
Everyone
That's
seems-
coming this coming year. Yeah.
everyone seems to be losing to ESPN these days.
Yep. Like I said, money talks.
Yeah.
They even got Buck and Aikman. I don't know how the hell that happened from Fox to ESPN. They're just stealing everybody.
Yeah.
But
So this is not sports related by any means, but this goes back to like what we talked, like you just mentioned, money talks, and what we mentioned a couple weeks ago. I don't remember if it was contract negotiations or it was about inside the NBA leaving and Chuck being like, oh, I would never leave
Yep.
TNT, but then obviously the money talks. So there's a popcorn company in Danbury.
yes, Lesser Evil.
Yes, it's
Yes.
fantastic popcorn.
Yes.
I would advise trying it. The
Yes.
owner was like, I'll never sell. He sold to Hershey.
Big time money too.
Yeah,
probably,
huge money. I don't think he thought that his company was worth as much as they gave him, and that's probably why he was never going to sell. But he sold out to one of the biggest chocolate brands in the country or in the world.
Historically relevant. Yeah.
Yeah.
They've been around forever. So they needed some big acquisition too, right? Because they got a lot of competition with Nestle and who makes Nutella? The fucking Mondelez, right? And they got like Cadbury and shit.
Yeah, there's a lot of competition in that world for sure.
Yeah, it's crazy. Going off the rails here, guys.
Yeah, but
Talking chocolate eggs.
listen, whatever sponsor we can get. No,
Yeah, right. Yo, those Cadbury eggs. Woo, Lord.
those are fire. though.
Fire. Please. Yo, Cadbury, please. Bring us some chocolate bars, please.
Yeah, just send us a nice Easter care package.
For real, facts. Hey, shout out to Lesser Evil, though. That's a hometown company.
Yeah,
We love you guys. Whether you're with Hershey or not, we're still going to eat your popcorn.
right?
Pink Himalaya salt, whatever the hell it is.
Oh, so good.
Dude,
That's
that's crazy.
They have other flavors too, but we're
You
not
think it's
gonna go
actually
on.
from the hip? Anyway, I get off topic here.
I mean, if it is, then I
From
feel
Mount Everest. All right, so enough of the, we're going to popcorn to a new topic here. Dudum pop, soundboard poppy. We'll be back soon. Topic 2, transitioning quickly here. So we just talked about more kind of like a business element of sports in terms of growth, right? In terms of broadcasting and streaming and kind of going with the future, right? So I kind of want to touch base with the growth of women's sports from the actual sport perspective and from a business perspective, right? Because we're seeing the WNBA expand. New teams, they're getting new broadcasting deals, pretty big money, right? Hundreds of millions of dollars are being their valuations are going through the roof as well.
For the WNBA?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The Connecticut Sun got sold for what, $375?
Yes, it was like a record.
Yeah.
You guys know how I feel about that. But again, hey, they got their bag.
Yeah.
You know, it is what it is. But we've seen also the National Women's Soccer League take off and make strides and be a sustainable success. It helps, soccer's the most popular sport in the world. The USA has a huge footprint in women's soccer, having the national success and the World Cup and the Olympics and stuff. There's also a professional women's hockey league, which is still small, but it's showing that it could work because the games are fast-paced, they're exciting.
Women's hockey is just as relentless as men's hockey.
So, exactly.
Yeah.
And we just saw this weekend with Jen Powell becoming the first home plate umpire that was a woman in the history of the sport. MLB's been around since the 1800s.
Yeah.
So there are major strides in both on-field and off-field with the business of women's sports. Matt, I want to ask you, do you believe that this is organic, that this was inevitable, or does it a little of it feel a little forced?
Are we talking about the including women in like the umpire?
However you want to take it.
Okay, because I didn't know if we were talking about this new sports that are being added.
If you want to branch it to say like it feels kind of forced for them to be included in men's sports or not.
No, I don't think so at all.
I don't think so either.
I think Sarah Thomas was the first female referee in NFL too. I think if you can do the job, you can do the job, and that's all that matters.
Right.
So if you're going to be able to call a strike, and a ball, by all means, step in, because we have several male umpires in the league that can't seem to do so. So if they're doing their job and they're doing it properly, then who cares? Yeah. It's as short as that.
Right. And speaking on Jen Powell, I know she's been in like the minor leagues umping for quite some time. She's done a lot of spring training games and stuff. So like you said, she has the merits.
Yeah.
So it's, can you do the job? Yes. Okay. She's well qualified. She's been an umpire for decades.
You can't just walk out of high school and be like, I'm going to be an NFL or MLB ref.
Right.
There's training that goes into being a referee. It's not just like you ref high school and then you go ref college. No, there's actually like, as you go up, there's training levels that you need to go through before you can even touch those elite fields or courts.
Yeah.
So I think it's well deserved.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to pivot now.
Yep.
Not a little controversial question, but I just want to get I want to see how your brain looks at this with what I'm going to ask you. So.
Oh, God.
No, it's nothing bad. It's nothing bad. Nothing bad yet. Nothing bad. I'm just kidding. So we mentioned the Connecticut Sun being sold for a record amount.
Okay.
And I know you are very bullish on the growth of the WNBA in particular. Mm-hmm. If you're looking at these valuations and you're seeing these teams go for over $200-300 million, do you believe that, and I'm just going to preface this also with, the lack of profitability from the league as a whole.
Yep.
Right? Are we valuing these teams based on what we think they'll be or what they already are? Are we thinking speculative in terms of future worth, or do we really think that the Connecticut Sun are worth $300 million right now today when they're 5-23?
Okay.
Sorry, I had to put that in there. Sorry.
So there's multiple factors here. I'm going to try to touch them all.
Sure.
The Connecticut Sun specifically are worth more than any team in the WNBA because they're the only profitable one. Or one of the only profitable ones. The Fever might be coming up now because Caitlin Clark is selling jerseys at record rates, and Sophie Cunningham and that whole squad that they got together over there.
Right.
People are tinkling in their pants every time they see them on the TV.
Like, oh my gosh. She's yelling at them. Yeah. Oh.
So that being said, if any team was worth over the buy-in rate right now, it would be the Connecticut Sun. Now, business perspective, you didn't ask this. If I was Mohegan Sun, I would immediately buy back in at $250 million, profit your $100 million plus, buy another team.
And try to rebrand.
Yep, because the amount of foot traffic that goes into that casino is insane. People who don't even know that there's a professional women's sports basketball team in there go and watch the games eventually because they're there already and it's something to do. Now that the league is growing, it's obviously more popular. But that being said, your question that you had asked, is it based on now or future? It's both. Right now, the viewership is up. The numbers in terms of profitability are not there yet.
Right.
They're still multiple tens of $1 million in the hole. However, within the next 10 years, there will be billion-dollar valuation teams, in my eyes. So, and they're trying to add like another 4 or 5 teams.
Yeah,
right?
about like 3 or I think at least 3 or 4 for sure.
Yeah.
Because they said Philadelphia, Detroit, Cleveland for sure.
They want at least 16 by the end of next year or so.
Yeah. So those 3 markets are definite.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they'll probably expand further the more profitable they become.
And they see the talent coming up from NCAA, and they're like, "Yeah, there's something here." And what was missing from the WNBA, aside from like, I didn't feel like it was marketed at all. The only commercials I saw growing up were NBA and NFL commercials, and maybe some MLB, but there wasn't much advertisement. And if you're trying to grow, and I think the WNBA is doing it right now, the NCAA tournament really opened our eyes to, the rivalry, being like, oh wow, they have this here. I didn't know that there was any rivalries. You might, because you're bigger into sports in terms of the vast, sports I've never heard of. But
have you ever played snooker?
But that being said, the rivalries, how intense they're playing. Like if you watch an NBA game and then you go to the WNBA and watch a WNBA game, the WNBA is actually more interesting right now than the NBA. They play more physical. It's more technical basketball. The NBA is all skill, shoots. Nobody plays real defense aside from a couple of teams in the league. At least the women are trying. And that being said, I believe a lot of the refs in the WNBA are male too. So that goes to your previous comment. It doesn't matter what gender the sport is, as long as you can do the job.
So follow-up question for you. Do you believe that this investment in the league and this growth, do you believe that it's... Oh, I just got a notification. Excuse me, middle of my question. Do you think it's an organic push just because of the effort to try to get it out there was missing? Or do you think there's a combination of factors that are saying, hey, the consumer needs to accept this?
Well, they're definitely aggressively pushing it. It can be a little forced. However, when you're on the cusp that they're on, where viewership is up a lot, they have to get it to a point where it's not just Caitlin Clark pushing the buck.
Yep.
So, and I think they're getting there, but it's still a couple years away from probably being profitable. So, is it forced? Maybe right now, but that's a good thing for them.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
All right, and then, so I'm going to try to transition this to some of the other leagues that we touched base on, with soccer and hockey specifically. Do we see the same type of push for those other sports, like the WNBA? Do you believe that there's marketable NWSL soccer players?
Probably. I don't know them by name, but probably.
So, like, say, like...
They're nasty women soccer players, so...
Right. So, like, to your point of there wasn't the marketing efforts.
Yeah.
I mean, I do see commercials of, like, upcoming games, but I can't tell you 7 teams in that league.
Yeah.
So do you think maybe it's more... Same thing, like the same WNBA approach where they need to focus on, reaching those streaming agreements and really getting the word out there. Maybe more soccer is the most popular sport in the world, so they're going to have that boost. But this hockey league in particular, they're in their 3rd season, and I don't even think we knew that.
So I'm going to kind of answer this differently than you're probably expecting. I think ESPN First Take is a big culprit as to why other leagues are not covered.
Interesting. They
cover the NBA, the NFL, and that's pretty much it.
And only when the Yankees suck.
Yeah. The MLB sometimes.
Right.
And then now that they have former WNBA players talking on their show, they're now talking about the WNBA as they're trying to make this push.
Right.
That is probably also driving the viewership.
Yep.
So if they were more like us, who don't care what we cover, and actually care about sports as a whole, not just their cherry-picked 3,
right?
Because they don't even cover the NHL other than when they win the Stanley Cup, they're like, congratulations, and there's a 5-minute segment, and that's it.
And they stream every single NHL game.
Yes, and they don't talk about it.
Yeah.
So I think ESPN is actually failing at marketing it themselves. However, I don't know, because our social media accounts are probably tied to watching football and NBA as the main thing. If that's just the hot spot, like if you're talking about cheeseburgers,
right,
and then
targeted content,
right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's the reason why we're not seeing these ads.
Mm-hmm.
But another aspect is if we're talking about women's sports specifically.
Yep.
I'm trying to put this in a more sensitive way than a non-sensitive way, but I've never come home, and my wife likes sports, never come home and seen my wife watching any sort of female sports. I've come home and she was watching NFL, I've come home and she was watching NBA, but I didn't see her watching WNBA. I didn't see her, when I was watching the women's tournament this year, she said,
right.
Why are you watching women's basketball? You need to get support from women too. If women can get their husbands and boyfriends to watch Love Island, they can get them to watch a WNBA game.
I'd rather watch a WNBA game.
I would too.
Love Island.
Or
I've never even seen Love Island.
Women's softball, or like you were talking about before, women's baseball, or women's hockey. I've seen women's hockey more times than I've seen men's hockey, and in person. It's great.
Yeah.
As long as you start getting exposure to sports, they're not that different from men's sports. Yeah. And occasionally you'll get a hair pull. You don't get that much unless you got dreadlocks in the NFL. You don't see the hair pull. Right. You know?
Hey, if it's below their nameplate, it's part of the jersey.
Yeah. So it's a little bit of everything involved. I think the big streaming networks need to do a better job of including them in their daily talk shows, or just let us do it for them and we can become more popular than them.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, well, hey, if you leagues want to sponsor us, we will talk about your content all day, all night. We'll know every player, every team, every game.
Yeah.
Man,
and
please sponsor us. Yeah,
and I think being that the men are, or at least in our case, I know more men that watch women's sports than I know women watch women's sports.
Yeah.
So I think the women need to get on board as well. But also everyone needs to get on board. That's where I don't want to be like insensitive.
Yeah, no, for sure. And and we'll get into the women's baseball part in a little bit. You did mention one thing about Caitlin Clark moving the buck. And I've been a big believer that, women's sports needs that marquee women's star. We've seen women be stars in their respective league, but she is being, I don't want to say she is a trend. She is being marketed as a transcendent female athlete, right? She's got the Gatorade. Every Gatorade commercial is her with like the blue sweat or whatever the hell. Like, she is I don't want to, I'm trying to be sensitive, but she's the golden goose. So they have that marquee star. Is just Caitlin Clark alone enough? Or do they need another star or two? So and then the same thing could be applied to soccer and hockey. Is one face of your league for where they're trying to go? Is one face enough?
Yes, for now.
Okay.
Caitlin Clark will get people in the building. Then they will see Paige Beckers, how good she is. Yep. They will see Angel Reese, even though she might not be the best WNBA player, she's still a star. They will see at some point Kiki and Juju. And people will be like, oh my God. You know, at
Right.
some point, because there are better WNBA players than Caitlin Clark in the league.
Correct.
If you watch other teams, you will see that. If you just watch Caitlin Clark, I can see where you're coming from.
Mhm.
Caitlin Clark will draw them into the building, and the league will hammer it home at some point.
Mhm.
So once you get exposure to the league in general, because buying a ticket to any WNBA game helps the league as a whole.
Yep.
Not just that team. It does help that team, but that counts towards their viewership and the total because they're at they all have a salary cap.
Yep.
It pretty much profits go towards
And then a shared revenue and
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
So getting them into the building is huge. I am seeing a lot of commercials for Paige.
Yep.
Well deserved. She won the NCAA title and she's absolutely killing it in the WNBA right now. There will be a time where more faces show. They're young. They're still coming up. To get eyes on everything, it's fine the way it is right now. But I don't know what your thoughts are on it.
Yeah, I think in time, I don't know. This Caitlin Clark effect, I think, is going to fade off if she doesn't win.
Yep.
So the longer she goes without a championship or being the MVP or whatever, I think it could have a negative impact on viewership, or like the overall product may diminish to a degree. I don't think it will completely. The league will survive with or without her.
Yep.
Like you said, there's future stars that are coming in. So I'm not concerned that much in terms of, oh, we don't have Caitlin Clark, it's over. I think what I'm more concerned with is that they're going to put all their speaking of Golden Goose, all their eggs in that basket, only for there to be a hole in the basket.
So now I do see where you're coming from with the championship. That might shorten their timeline a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
However, when she plays, and she has to be healthy,
Yep.
because this year has been a catastrophe for her. She's been out four different
Like
times.
like half the year she's missed almost.
So that's not good.
Right.
But I think she has a 4 to 5 year window from the start of her WNBA career.
So she's got about another 2 to 3
yeah,
to win a championship.
unless somebody else steps up and shines with her.
Right.
And I think Paige is almost guaranteed going to win Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, I don't see why she wouldn't.
Right.
Yeah. Maybe Sonia Citron, but even then, that's a long shot.
Paige is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
That being said, I think she has a small window to lose because you can blame it on injuries. You can come back and not have chemistry with your team because of injuries. We saw those excuses fly with the Clippers and Paul George and Kawhi for several years.
Podcast P.
People stayed locked into that for about 3 to 4 years. They gave the excuse, oh, it was the bubble. They weren't mentally there. Then they gave the excuse, oh, they were hurt. And then the next year was, oh, they were hurt when they're healthy. And then once we couldn't take them seriously anymore, people stopped caring.
Yep.
So you have a few year window where she could either win or be like Lamar Jackson and win an MVP and not win. She could easily get there, but again, the window is pretty short if you're trying to grab a mass audience.
Yeah. Okay, great. Awesome. Now, I know we mentioned something. I hope you guys caught wind of it. There is going to be the return of a professional women's baseball league. Yes, baseball, not just softball. So for those of you who don't know history or whatever, back in the 40s and 50s, there was a professional women's baseball league. The movie A League of Their Own is based off of this. If you guys need something to watch on Netflix or whatever tonight, watch A League of Their Own. It's a great movie. This new league is going to start next summer. It's going to be based out of the Northeast. So, is there a place for baseball for women as well, right? Because they play basketball, just like the men. They play soccer just like the men, hockey just like the men. So, and when I think of girls playing on a diamond, right, I think of softball.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a place for baseball for women? And just to preface this, we just talked about Jen Powell being an ump. They have scouts and analytics and some coaches, right? But so is this feasible?
I'm going to say no.
And why?
Why? Because, number one, unless they're also bringing that to the table for lower tier, like high school, middle school, they're playing softball.
Right.
They're not playing baseball. Would I be intrigued? Will I watch it? I'll watch it just to see what it's like, but I can't guarantee that I'm going to continue watching it. I already don't like baseball much. I'm not going to watch 162 or however many games are in a season.
Yep.
For baseball, I'll watch games here or there. In the playoffs, I'll probably watch the majority of the playoff games.
Right.
But I don't have the capacity to cover that much baseball, even though they are speeding the games up a little bit.
Yeah. No, it's a lot.
Yeah. I don't, for myself, I can't see myself even watching men's baseball, and I'm not going to treat the women any differently. So, will I watch it to see what it's like? Yes. But if there's already softball, I would rather them have a co-ed league.
Yeah. So my issue, I don't have an issue with them playing baseball.
Right.
Yeah. Do your thing. If you have the, framework and everything in place, I have no problem with it.
Yep, no problem.
You bring up a great point where they're playing softball, not baseball. I feel like the effort should be more into expanding the sport of softball.
Yep.
On the professional level, which they've been trying to do. They've been trying to market, this pro softball league. I've seen it a couple times on, like ESPN2 and stuff. So now to try to take away from that with women's baseball, I don't know if it accomplishes growth for both sports. Especially when, like you mentioned, there's no women's high school baseball that I'm aware of. At least not out here.
Probably isn't some rich fucking... You never know.
Maybe. Yeah, you never know. There's also no college place for it. So to them to just go straight to pro, and so I just don't want to see it be like they're set up to fail. Like you said, a lot of people don't have the patience for 160 games of men's baseball.
Yeah.
And from what I'm reading, there's only 6 teams. They're only going to play 4 regular season games or whatever. Is that I don't think that's a long enough timetable to really get enough eyes on the product.
That sounds like a Windsor flag football type schedule.
Right. So now, I think, they're going to maybe play in some smaller arenas and everything. And I'm sure the quality of play will be okay. I mean, it's baseball. And it's kind of hard not to, say, oh, cool, But only to be a 6 or 7 week season in the summer, I don't know if there's enough eyes on the product to where you could say, okay, we can begin expanding, or this is a profitable venture. It almost feels like it's set up to fail.
And there's already a lot of baseball.
Right. There's already a lot of baseball. Plus, I feel like people would rather watch Little League in the summer when it's the tournament and everything.
That would actually interesting. That would actually be a way to
market it, maybe, yeah.
To market it and have women have a Little League for women as well for baseball. If you're gonna go all in on it.
Yeah.
Then you're gonna have to start them younger, because I gotta tell you, I can hit a softball all day. If I go into a batting cage and I'm with a baseball and it's coming at me at 80 miles an hour, I can tell you I'm swinging and missing 99% of the time. The size difference between a baseball and a softball is drastic.
Well, I mean, just remember, a 55 mile an hour softball is coming fast.
It is coming fast. I can hit that though.
Okay. I know. I'm just saying, it's like
I have more of a chance of hitting it too.
Oh yeah, you have more of a chance to hit it. That's fair. So, like, but again, to my point of, should there be more of an effort to push softball? Because that's what's already established.
I would say yes. Just yes. They do any women's sport.
Because college softball is huge.
It is.
Huge. It's all over the networks.
Yep.
Especially when it comes to the World Series time, the tournament and stuff. They get more views than the baseball World Series in college. At least in my opinion. I don't know if that's factual, but I would rather watch that because, like, there's more, like, it's, like, more invested from the crowd and more meaningful. Like, it just feels more important.
So
I don't know how I feel about this baseball league. I'm sure it's going to be cool, but I don't see it really working. In the short term, at least. In the immediate.
I was going to say something, but I fucking lost it.
Sorry.
No, you're good. It was piggybacking off of what you just said and just disappeared.
Something about college.
It had to do with it, but
investing in softball instead of baseball.
we might not be able to get this one.
I don't even remember the other thing I said before that. All right.
If I remembered, I will shout it out, but if not, continue.
You're going to be in the middle of, like, your next point of our next topic. You'll be like, oh! Oh, yeah. Speaking of which, we'll get off this topic. I'm sure we'll discuss it in later time when
Cam probably has a good opinion on it, too.
Yeah, probably. I'm sure.
Yeah.
You know, so, because he's a big college sports guy. So
yeah.
That would be good to hear. Is it Cam, if you're listening, or, I mean, you're probably not listening because you have no service, but we miss you, bud. Come back next week, please. Just kidding. He will be back. Anyway, we're going to get into our last topic of the day, of the week. And this is going to be more of a, not necessarily on-field question. This is going to be more catered to when fans get angry. So in recent days, there was a tennis player who lost a match and proceeded to receive death threats on her social media, particularly from people who had bet her to win. And, you know, she lost. So in turn, she quote unquote lost them money. Right? So really the question is there an obligation by social media providers, like an Instagram, a Facebook, a Twitter, or X, whatever the hell they call themselves now? Do they have a responsibility to try to protect athletes and, like, their DMs? Or, like, some sort of obligation to, you know, ban people from saying those kinds of things to them directly?
No.
No. Okay.
However, if the player releases said messages, there should be accountability for it. Mm-hmm. I don't think a messaging service should be intervening with DMs. That's just privacy.
Right.
But if it becomes public from the person that received it, then, or even just brought up to, like, a police station, not necessarily straight to the news, but there should be a call to action on it. Because if you're saying I'm going to kill you because I lost my money betting on you, then that person deserves to go to jail, or at least be brought in for questioning. Because you might have a bigger issue on your hands other than just you lost your money. You got some sort of gambling addiction. Mm-hmm. You got other issues in your life that you might not be too happy with, and you can't be threatening people because they lost the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the player in question is Elena Svitolina, and she actually had a very good response to it. I'm going to read it to you. So, if your mother saw your messages, she would be ashamed of you.
Yeah.
That was her response. And I got to tell you, I love that response from her. One, it shows that she's not afraid of these people, as no athlete should be afraid of these people.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the people are cowards.
Yep.
They're upset. And first
hashtag keyboard warrior.
Keyboard warriors, exactly. not to be mistaken with the soundboard Poppy. Right? Soundboard, not keyboard warriors. And it's a shame that, obviously we like to wager on sports every now and then, but we do it responsibly. When you don't have a limit or a cap, like you said, maybe there's something else going on that they're not happy with. They have no self-control. And it's also hard for a social media platform to try to really, like, what are they going to do? Just remove the DM thing from athletes' things so that they don't get these messages? I don't know.
Yeah.
How could they,
So yeah, verified athletes or people with the blue check mark should not be able to receive messages first. They could probably, if they wanted to reply to a comment and DM somebody directly, they can.
Right.
But then that could be turned off whenever they're done with whatever conversation they're having. Because I know certain athletes and or brands will market something as like a giveaway.
Right.
And they need to be able to contact that person somehow.
Right.
So that being said, and they're not going to have some third party reach out to them because then nobody's going to believe that stuff's legit. They're not going to give their information. So I think the athlete should be able to turn it on and off. Like, don't take it completely away, but like, because the athlete might have some sort of need to use their verified account to reach out to even an ESPN.
So follow up with that. Do you think that that's something that could be created for everyone to use? This is a follow-up question.
Actually, specifically Instagram, you can turn DMs off.
Perfect.
I believe, I don't know if that's for personal accounts. I think you can turn it off for people that you don't, if they follow you but you don't follow them, you can turn it off.
Interesting.
I believe that that's a setting. Also, to go back to the first part of this conversation, I can't tell you the amount of times that I've flicked off my TV and said "fuck you" to a player that didn't hit one of the prop bets, but I never once messaged that guy because I'm the one that put the money on him. It's a guess. You don't know things are going to happen. We educatedly guess our picks. We analyze statistics. We see matchups. And if the matchup isn't good, then we're not going to bet towards it. Even just this past year, we're like, Donovan Mitchell and Hunter are out. We're going to take the Pacers in this game. That's a no-brainer. And the sportsbook never adjusted for that sort of curve. They thought that the Pacers were that much worse.
Yep.
I can't imagine how many people just blindly bet the Cleveland.
Just lost, yeah.
Yeah, just because. And funny story. I was on one of the hottest streaks. I went 28 for 31 in the month of November. Now 2 years in a row.
Wow.
I bet Breece Hall over 23.
Like receiving yards or rushing yards?
It was receiving yards. It was over 23 and a half receiving yards. And my buddy bet, he jumped in and he's like, I'm just going to go 1 yard higher. I'm like, don't do that. Just don't do that. He got 24. My buddy bet 24 and a half.
Oh my gosh. Ugh. It's the worst. Those halves always kill you.
He stopped gambling after that day.
Oh, wow.
He hasn't placed a single bet since.
Wow. Sheesh. That's not good, man. But yeah, so I kind of agree with the, like, if they have the option to turn it off, they can turn it off.
Yeah.
At some point, we can't hold, like, it's almost like saying, this is going to be a really stupid comparison here, but let's say someone buys like a carton of ice cream, but they're lactose intolerant. So they eat the whole carton of ice cream, right? And they can't shit for like 2 days. So they try to sue Turkey Hill. Why are you...
My stomach hurts now because I ate your ice cream. Well, are you fucking lactose?
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Gluten-free people eating gluten.
I don't understand. So it's just like, no shit, you're going to feel some pain, right? But it's like personal accountability seems to be lost, especially when there's money involved in sports. And, like Matt said, I have cursed up and down a storm when, certain player that I just need a couple of things and they come up 1 yard short or two catches short.
Any parlay always misses by like
one.
Yeah.
It's extremely frustrating. Or when you bet a team that's a 9.5 point favorite and they lose by 2, and it's just like, why?
And unless you're the 2 teams or the 4 teams that tied in the NFL this past preseason week, there are winners and losers in sports. And
always,
you were just wrong. That's on you. That's not on the athlete. The athlete can win. The athlete can lose. One might have a better day than the other one day. The temperature could have been a factor. Some people don't do well in the heat. Some people don't do well in the cold. Some people don't do well in the rain, snow. It is what it is. You were wrong. Now you lost your money, and that was your consequence. Do you need any further consequences? You can DM an athlete a threat, and you can be in jail.
Yeah. So I think we're in agreement there. It's just like, it's one thing to be a fan. It's another thing to be an obsessive fan. It's not, like, or a super fan. Like, going that route is just uncalled for. It's hard to, like, hold, Instagram, like, oh, you need to do better.
Yes.
No, I think the users of Instagram need to do better. That's what it comes down to.
There's damn well these people wouldn't be doing this. Well, I can't say guarantee. These days because Terry Bradshaw won 4 Super Bowls for the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
On that second, because he won back-to-back twice. On the second back-to-back, they made it to the AFC Championship game the next year after that. Terry's shoulder was shot.
Mm-hmm.
He played like shit. He came home and his whole yard was trashed. So we've talked about fan behavior previously. I don't think we touched on the DM portion because we probably just didn't think of it at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But fan behavior, you need to take a chill pill.
Yeah.
It's not like sports are entertainment and it helps us get through the week. We can't be
ruining what we enjoy.
And if you can't handle losing your money, then that means that you
shouldn't
be gambling
be gambling
irresponsibly.
Yep. We do not promote. What's the word?
Degenerate gambling.
Yes, there it is. It takes one to know one, baby. No, I'm just kidding. We do not promote degenerate gambling. Please gamble responsibly. Also, if you own a sports book, please sponsor us. We would love to get paid. Money. We would love to get paid to degenerately gamble.
Yep.
I'm just kidding. No, please gamble responsibly. With that said, I know we had those 3 topics. I'm going to throw one more topic in.
Surprise topic.
Really quick. Yes, surprise. Because it may be like a 2-part question. So this coming week is the start of the new English Premier League season for football, real football, with your feet, your footsies, and your toesies. First question. Will you be watching the English Premier League this year? And 2, if so, who are you picking to win the league, if you were to pick?
Will I be watching? Yes. I took a couple-year hiatus from soccer. I was big into it when I was in college, and I just hadn't had the time to keep up because the games are at completely different times. They're like midday. When I was in college, I was able to, in between classes, be able to just watch the games. So that's already been some time. However, I do plan on following it as a lot of my friends do now. So I have, a reason to watch, even if I watch at a different time. So players, not really familiar with at this juncture, just because there's been a lot of turnover over the past 5 years since I've watched. Teams, though, I will pick Chelsea.
Okay.
However, I have my eye on Arsenal.
Arsenal, okay.
They have to be healthy, though. I know in this past It was the Euro League, right? It was the Euro League when they're facing Barcelona.
They were in the Champions League.
Champions League, that's what it was.
Were they in the Champions League?
Yes. It was the Champions League, and they made it to the semis, and they lost. Against PSG, sorry. It was against PSG.
Yeah, I believe so.
It was
Yeah.
Arsenal versus PSG. And PSG it was a 2-leg game. They played in Arsenal, and then they played in Paris.
Yep.
So Arsenal was drastically undermanned due to injury. So if they're healthy, they have a team that I know they always show up short. But I think that they at some point the glass will break.
So you're gonna go with Arsenal
As a sleeper.
sleeper team.
Yeah, but I think Chelsea is on a hot ride right now. Winning a couple of big cups. So
Very nice. Very good pick. So for everyone that's wondering, the first game is this coming Friday, 3:00 Eastern Time. Liverpool hosting Bournemouth. Liverpool are the defending champs. So I believe that my teams, I have two teams to watch. I'm going to be watching a little bit more because it's been a long time since I've watched the Prem.
yep,
So
it's a great league though.
Yeah, need to get back into it. I am going to pick two teams that I think are going to be sleeper teams. And I'm basing this solely on the odds for them to win the league. Because, we're compulsive gamblers. I think Manchester United will be much improved. They had an awful year last year. But they ended their season on a good note. And I don't think they're going to get, whatever, they're 15th or 16th place again.
Yeah.
I just don't see that happening 2 years in a row. They're too historic of a club to be that poor. I think they finish in the top 10 this year. I think they're top half. I'm not going to say they're going to win the league, but I expect them to be in the top half of the table. The other team that I was looking at, I believe, was Aston Villa.
Okay.
I'm
Not a big club at all.
No, not a big club at all, but I'm going to make sure. Let's see.
This is just for being that we talk about these things. The English Premier League is kind of set up similar to the MLB in terms of market, where you have your Man Cities, Liverpool, Arsenal. Man United's a big one too. Was it Tottenham in there? You got Everton.
Tottenham, yep.
I mean, you got big market and small market teams in there, and it seems like the same teams are always at the top.
Yeah, exactly. I just want to look
Chelsea.
at last year's table because I think Nottingham Forest was decent last year. No, it's 23 to 24. We need 24 to 25. Here we go. So Liverpool won it. Arsenal was second. Man City in third. Chelsea in fourth. Newcastle in fifth, and Aston Villa at number 6. I'm actually going to change instead of Aston Villa. I'm going to go with Newcastle. Newcastle had a goal differential of plus 21 last year with 20 wins, 12 losses, and 6 draws. So I think they're a team that can score. And since they were already top 5, there's potential for them to move up into the winner's spot in case of injuries or whatever have you. So my sleeper pick to win the league will be Newcastle. I know, I'm just screwing around. So,
well, we'll keep an eye on that.
Yes, we'll keep an eye on Newcastle, but I do believe Manchester United will be much improved. So
they should be.
I like the Arsenal take as well.
Yeah.
I think Arsenal's got a chance to win the league this year. So, but I'm not going to steal your thunder. Anyway, so yeah, Friday, 3:00, Liverpool begins its title defense. Let us know if you guys are going to be watching, who your teams are, who your picks are. And we will be monitoring it because we're going to put money on it.
Oh, definitely.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Maybe not eventually, probably.
In the game, we'll probably bet on the first game.
Yeah, probably. All right, now, pretty much concludes our topics for today. I have a trivia question for this week.
And you know the answer, so I'm the only one answering.
That's right. You have made it to the bonus round by default. All right. Are you ready for your question?
Sure.
Who won the inaugural Women's Rugby World Cup?
Oh, Just tell me the answer. Or give the audience a second.
We'll play the Jeopardy theme song. Doom, 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 doom. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. All right. So as you guys heard, today's question of the day: who won the inaugural Women's Rugby World Cup? And the reason I'm asking this question is because the Women's Rugby World Cup also starts in 2 weeks. That is not the answer to the question. That was just a cough. And I think you're going to be surprised by this answer, Matt. The answer is...
That was
the drum roll. The United States.
Wow.
Yes. It is true. It is true. In 1991, defeating England 19-6.
Wow.
This year, the World Cup is being hosted by England, who is currently the world number one. England opens against the United States. I believe the game is August 22nd or August 23rd. We will have that confirmed date next week. Actually, no, we're not going to do it next week. I'll just look it up right now. Please hold. You got any hold music you can play right now?
I don't, unless you want me to go flush the toilet.
I don't know about that.
Listen to how explosive.
Here we go. I got it. It is August 22nd. It is a Friday at 2:30 p.m. Start of the Women's Rugby World Cup. Go Team USA, ranked 10th in the world. At the time of this recording, I think Matt actually went to go take a poopy. I don't know where he went.
You're right, Nick.
He is taking a poopy. Do you have any type of bet, or you're still on hiatus?
I'm on hiatus for like 2 weeks.
All right, I don't know if you guys heard that. He's in the potty taking a poopy. A couple more weeks, Baywood's Bets will be returning, so just keep that in mind. He helps you guys make the monies. All right, so hopefully he survives the poopy he's about to take. But with that, we're gonna get into my rant of the week, because there's also no cans jam of the week because he's in the woods. So with that said, today's rant is going to be a rant that I think some people listening to are going to agree with. We are going to rant about Aaron Boone. For those of you who do not know who Aaron Boone is the manager of the New York Yankees. Aaron Boone is a man who basically got the job from Joe Girardi solely off of the home run he hit in the 2003 ALCS that sent the Yankees to the World Series against the Red Sox. This was over 20 years ago. Okay, that was the last bit of the old magic at the old Yankee Stadium. Aaron Boone has been the manager of the Yankees for quite some time now, and has, I believe, been to one World Series, which they lost to the Dodgers. A lot of people have clamored that Aaron Boone should have been fired last year, or even the year before that. And the way this team has been performing since June 1st, I believe now is the time. Aaron Boone has got to go. The Yankees are collapsing before our very eyes. This was a team that was in the World Series last year. A lot of people said they were the favorite to go back to the World Series at the time. Oh, he survived the poopy. You guys heard the toilet flush. That is the definition of what the Yankees have been the last several weeks. A flushed toilet. A fresh poopy down the toilet. And that's because of their fresh poopy down the toilet manager, Aaron Boone. Aaron Boone, I don't think, has this locker room. He's not a real leader, in my opinion. And for him to be getting ejected multiple games in a row, he's trying to show that he is looking out for his players. He's not, okay? This is all a show. This is all a front. The Yankees are going to end up not making the playoffs when they were the favorite to go to the World Series at the start of the year. And it's an absolute shame because they have one of the two faces of the league on their team who was having an all-time season in Aaron Judge. They did not upgrade the starting rotation enough. Yes, Max Fried is great, but it's not enough. I don't know why there's this need to have players that either strike out or hit home runs. I don't know why we can't just have people consistently just get on base. I don't know why Aaron Boone is still the manager of this club. I think enough is enough. I think he hit his ceiling, and it is time to move on. The Yankees will not win a championship with Aaron Boone as their manager. It's just the reality of the situation. They are basically becoming the Dallas Cowboys of baseball. And we all know that Dallas sucks. All right, they've been terrible since their last championship was 1996. So we're working on 30 years. The Yankees haven't won a championship since 2009. Okay, he survived his poopy. He's back. Oh, man, took a deep breath. That's those Burger King mozzarella sticks that did it to you, man.
I just gotta say, I need to get a bidet immediately.
Wow. And you know what? This is going to be my new rant because you're talking about a water squirting your little booty during my rant.
This is better than Indian rug burn, which is what I got there right now.
Okay. That's that tikka masala burn. No, so I don't know if you were listening. My rant was about Aaron Boone.
I heard it.
Okay,
Yeah. Other than when I flushed and it sounded like the whole house was coming down.
I think it might have actually. There's a stream of water. No, it's kidding. No. But yeah, so Aaron Boone needs to go. I don't think they can wait until the season's over. I think he needs to go now. They need to replace him as a last-ditch effort to make the playoffs because if they don't, they will not make the playoffs.
Which is sad.
Which is sad because they, like I said, they were the favorites to win the American League on day one.
And they were just in the World Series last year.
They were in the World Series last year, exactly. And they lost in 5 games when that series should have been 3-2 Yankees.
Yeah.
So, it's enough is enough.
Game 1 was enough for that game.
Exactly. The moment Nestor came in, I was like, they just lost. So, but a lot of that is on Aaron Boone. He's got to go. Anywho, I mentioned that you're still on hiatus. Is there any other thing you want to add or contribute?
So I wanted to, but the audience is going to have to be left in anticipation because Cam is not present.
Right.
And I need him there because it was a facepalm moment. I have some out-of-pocket questions that I need to ask.
To him?
Well, it's to both of you, but
okay.
He needs to be present for
He
it.
needs to be present. Okay. So, next week, there's going to be a new segment on the show called Out of Pocket.
Rapid fire questions.
That's right. That's what we're going to call it now. Out of Pocket.
Yeah.
That's good. Like, scrambling. You're out of the pocket.
Yeah.
So,
that's
but that's not what Matt's referring to. So tune in for some sus questions from Matt next week. They will be in rapid format, even though Cam's moderating, so that's going to be hilarious to see how that works. I know that's not going to. Maybe I have to wait 2 weeks.
No, it'll come next week.
No?
It's already being delayed a week.
Oh boy! All right. Any last remarks before we get on out of here? A little early this week, but.
No.
No, not a we love you guys. No, nothing.
Oh, yeah, if you want me to give like an outro, I'll give an outro.
If you would like. I just want to make sure you care about our fans.
Oh, of course. I care about our fans a lot.
So tell them that.
Listen, guys, it's we do this for you guys as well as our own enjoyment, but we definitely love hearing you guys tune in, and giving feedback is always welcome. And we've received some feedback so far. There's things from earlier on that we've tweaked, and we're kind of in go mode now. So we haven't had any negative feedback in a while. If you have any, please share so we can either adjust or keep the positive feedback coming. That's always welcome. That keeps us here.
Or even the negative feedback. I like being verbally abused. That's one of my things. You know, no, I'm just kidding. Please don't do that. But no, as Matt said, we love to do this. It's a lot of fun for us, and we want to make sure it's fun for you guys too. And the only way we're going to know that is if you interact with us.
Yep.
Let us know what you guys think. Let us know what you want to hear. Improvements. If we sound like ass cheeks, if our takes are just Stephen A. style off or Skip Bayless style off, please let us know. All right. We love to have banter back and forth. We don't mind getting roasted or cooked because we will roast you and cook you back.
And I know
Don't worry.
over the past few weeks you've just been agreeing with each other. I know we do get some
You know.
arguments or debates in there. So we try to mix it up a little bit. I mean, there's certain topics that happen during the week that it's just like a no-brainer that everyone's going to agree with.
Right.
Like if a ref goes out and punches a player in the face, we're not going to be like, oh yeah, the ref was warranted that opportunity. But at the same time, we've also gotten they want some shorter clips.
Short clips?
Short, like, if I'm going to have to figure this out, but I'm waiting.
Oh, shorts.
Like, in terms of, yes, but
Like
like you know
shorts?
how our shows are like 2 hours long?
Oh, yeah.
They want like at least dedicated segments that we know are entertaining
Got it.
because me personally, I know hearing myself that I could shorten some of the takes I have, but
Same.
at least yours sounds sometimes a lot more knowledgeable than some of the things that I say. But they would like even like a Knicks rant or something like that, just shortened and isolated. Because some people don't have
as like a separate upload.
2 hours to just sit down and they might lose their place.
Yep.
So, at least for YouTube, Spotify, just it doesn't matter.
Right.
But for YouTube, to shorten them, and I think that we can make that adjustment once we're on camera.
Yep. Speaking of that development, that is coming in the coming weeks. I know you guys have been very patient. We thank you for that. It is coming soon. It's just like a George R.R. Martin book. It's coming. They're on their way.
Yes, it did get delayed about 2 weeks, but that is just due to the fact that not all of us are here, and we need to all be here for that first episode.
Right.
So
It is in coordination as we speak.
So, just as a calendar, that's not the calendar. Here's the calendar, and it doesn't want me to open it.
I have a calendar open.
So, it was originally.
His calendar really won't open. That's
I got it here. So, our first in-person episode looks like it will be the 7th of September.
beautiful. There you
We
go,
will all
guys.
be present for that.
9/7. It's gonna happen.
Yep.
You're gonna see all of our beautiful faces. You're gonna see and hear. You're gonna hear our voices with your eyes,
Yeah,
and that's gonna be really exciting.
and you'll get to see the face palms that we die at every week.
Yes, Cam is gonna just look at us with just vitriol and shame that we say the things that we say. So yeah. With that said, Cam, we hope you're still alive in the woods. Please come back next week. We need you, bud. We need your jams of the week. You're also moderating, so I don't want to have to come up with topics 2 weeks in a row. So with that said, shout out to Cam. We love you, Cam. We love you guys as well. We're going to go ahead and get on out of here. A little shorter this week, but we will be back with you guys next Sunday. And with that said, we love you guys. Take care. Again, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube as well as Spotify. And we'll get back with you next week. Take care, guys.